Hello and welcome back to Nerd Fuel. I'm your host, Hassel. Sorry about being a bit late with the video. It was a heck of a week and I wasn't able to accomplish everything that I needed to in order to film this earlier, but at least I was able to get it done, so here we go. Today we'll be taking a look at the game Tokaido Duo. This is the two-player version of the game Tokaido. And Tokaido is the Japanese word for the old road that went between Edo, which is now Tokyo, and Kyoto and Osaka. Luckily for me, about 11 years ago, I was actually able to take this trip with my wife and my good friend Jared. But with that being said, the classic version of the game has more to do with Tokaido as far as the definition goes than the two-player version that I am going to be showing you today. That's because this version of the game is set on the tiny island of Shikoku, Japan. Now, as you can see, the game board is shaped like the little island of Shikoku, and it has several different areas, routes, and stations. There's trade routes, mountain towns, coastal towns, temples, gardens, seashores, hot springs, and each player controls 3 meeple: an artist, a merchant, and a pilgrim. There are also 3 player cards and 3 dice, and they all correspond with the meeple. So there is a player card for the artist, the merchant, and the pilgrim, and there is a die for the artist, the merchant, and the pilgrim as well. The player that best manages all 3 of their meeple and racks up the most victory points wins the game. And the flow of the game is quite simple. During each turn, one player will roll all 3 dice, then choose one of the dice and move the corresponding meeple from the dice that they chose. Then the next player will take one of the 2 remaining dice and do the same thing. Once all 3 dice have been used, then the round is over. So for this quick little walkthrough, I'll start with explaining the artist. The artist moves from one area to the next across the trade routes. So you'll move the artist according to the number that's on the corresponding die. So if I grab the artist here, this says 3, so I would be able to move the artist 3 spots across the trade routes. Now, once the artist is moved, they have 2 choices. They can either paint or gift a painting. But on your first turn, you don't have any paintings, so obviously you're going to paint, right? And once you paint, you will flip over the tile or token, the top leftmost tile on the artist's character card. And if you had a painting and you were going to gift it, you could only do that if you happen to be on an area that corresponded with that token. So right now we're showing bamboo. So if my character were on bamboo, he would be able to gift that painting and there would be 2 victory points there. If the artist were able to gift all of their paintings, then that would trigger an end of game situation. That would end the game and we would tally up the points. Next is the merchant. The merchant moves along the trade routes. It's in orange here, from coastal towns to mountain towns. And they will interact with each town respectively. If they're on a mountain town, they will draw wares tokens that are based on the number associated with the mountain town they're on. Like this one's 2, 3, 3, and 4 is the other one. And they would draw their wares tokens out of the bag. And these tokens are either sake, kokeshi dolls, clothing like kimonos, or fans, like the Japanese style fans. And you could only keep up to 6. I'm sorry, you can keep 5. Once you get to 6, you're going to have to start discarding one. because you can't have more than 5. Now, when the merchant lands on a coastal town, if they have wares that match what is needed in that town, for instance, this town is requesting sake, then they can get 3 coins for the sake that they sell at that town. And for every 11 coins, they get a golden slab. And after 6 golden slabs, if they manage to do that, then that triggers the end of game as well. Finally, we have the pilgrim. The pilgrim moves around the outskirts of the island clockwise, and there are different effects from each station that the pilgrim can land on. If the pilgrim lands on a coastal town, they'll automatically get the amount of coins that are listed there that the merchant would have got if they would have sold something. So if my pilgrim landed here, they would get 3 coins. If they land on a temple, they'll move their peg on the pilgrim character card over 1. If they land on a garden, then they would move the garden peg 1 slot on the pilgrim card. If either of these pegs get all the way to the end, that will also trigger the end of the game. If the also, if the pilgrim lands on a hot spring, they get to hold on. They take that token, whether another player has it or not, they will take it, and then they can use it later in the game to have basically 2 turns on one of their meeple. And once they have used it for one of those turns, it will return back to that slot. So, also, if the pilgrim lands on a seashore, they will take one of the the wave tokens, any one they choose, any one they like, and they will gain the ability that is on that token. Now, once one of the several end-of-game triggers happens, the victory points are tallied. Each player's temple value is multiplied by the garden value, and then that is added to the merchant's commerce points and the artist cultural points, which would be the highest number revealed by gifted paintings. The player with the most points wins. And that's it. It's beautiful in its simplicity. I first played this game during Spiel Essen 2022 and absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, it sold out really fast and I didn't get a copy, but however, this year at Spiel 2023, I grabbed a copy for myself, and I've had a great time playing it since then, just like I did the year before when I was there. So now onto the score. Setup, 10 out of 10. It shouldn't take more than a minute or 2 to set this game up and start playing. Rules are also a 10 out of 10. It's really saying something getting out of 10 on rules. But the rules are clear as a bell, only a couple pages long, super simple. Fun, 9 out of 10. I love this game. It's simple, it's addictive. Replay value, 8 out of 10. It's definitely a game you can come back to. Aesthetics are an 8 out of 10. The game is very basic, but it makes up for it with beautiful artwork, especially on the character cards. I'm a big fan of games that use very basic meeple and tokens and things like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love using miniatures in games like D&D and Warhammer, but when it comes to games like this, I really love the simplicity. The wooden meeple, the high-quality particle board, the artwork, the feel of it, the overall look is fantastic. Another thing that I really like is the coins are based off of ancient Japanese currency. So that's kind of cool as well. I really like that. So that gives Tokaido a score of 90, a well-deserved A. So I really hope you guys check this game out. I really, really liked it. And I'm also sure that you've noticed that in each video, the format has changed a bit. And this is because I continue to receive feedback from my viewers, and I will continue to value and institute that feedback in each episode. I'm a bit new to this, so all the feedback I've been getting is highly valued. Trust me, I'm not insulted. Keep it coming. Keep sending me those DMs and let me know what I need to fix. I really enjoy bringing you these videos, and if you enjoy them, please like this one and subscribe. Also, please check out my Patreon, which is linked below. This channel is still pretty green, but I do offer a few benefits to patrons. Once there are enough patrons, we can really start having some fun. Well, that is it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.